Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1-year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And shit, I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
I had a crush on my brother's best friend.
We're gonna call him Pedro.
One day, my brother and Pedro had a plan to go to the beach together, and then Pedro invited me. And I was like, let me check if I have something to do. I don't. I'm going. I'm gonna go, Pedro. Don't worry.
The night before, I was like, I need to look scandalous. Like, so scandalous.
So I remember I wore this 2-piece bathing suit. So long story short, the day came and we went to the beach.
So we get to the water, and immediately I go in. I wanted to show him, like, I'm a bra girl. Oh, this is the best part.
So I'm coming out of the water and I'm trying to look like a baddie. Like, I'm trying to walk out all cute, like the hair is wet and everything. And I noticed Pedro was looking at my legs. So I was like, maybe he's trying to shoot his shot. So I went to go tell him something. And I was like, "Why do you keep looking at me?" And he was like, "Look at your legs." I look at my legs. There's a whole ass piece of poop from the beach water.
Put a finger down if in high school you had a YouTube channel and your whole school knew about it so you weren't embarrassed, and one day when you were sitting in your first period class, a girl came up to you and asked you why you were promoting your YouTube channel in the girls' washroom, and you had no idea what she was talking about, so obviously you ran to the washroom to investigate, and you found that written on the back of every single bathroom stall door was your YouTube channel and comments about how you were so amazing and beautiful and how everyone should subscribe to you. And this was really embarrassing because everyone was accusing you of writing these things, but you weren't. So you wrote a message back and asking this person to stop writing these things, and then the next day you found that they had leaked your personal information and written down your address on the bus that you take to school. So now you're really creeped out and you were scared that someone was stalking you. So you and your friends were determined to figure out who this person was. And the next day when you went to school, you all hid in a different washroom of the school trying to catch this person red-handed. And while you were hiding in the washroom, you noticed that a girl came out without flushing and she was holding a red marker. So you knew that you had caught her red-handed. So you followed her out of the washroom and you and all your friends went up to her and asked her if she was the one that had been writing on the bathroom stall. Like for a part 2, it gets so good. And then after you and your friends confront this girl and ask her why she's been writing about you in the bathroom stalls, she still denies it, even though you literally just caught her red-handed. So you ask her what her name is in order to report her to the principal, but she gives you a really obviously fake name like Sarah Smith. Luckily, one of your friends ends up recognizing her and pulling up her Facebook profile. So you show her Facebook profile and ask her why she lied about her name if she wasn't guilty for writing in the bathroom stalls. And then she denies that that Facebook profile belongs to her and says it's a catfish account. So then you tell her you're not going to report her to the principal, but she needs to stop this behavior. So she stops writing in the bathroom stalls, but she doesn't stop stalking you. And one night when you're having a sleepover with your cousin gets a phone call from a random blocked number, and she picks up and it's some girl on the other line saying how she's a huge fan of you and your YouTube videos and she wants to know why you haven't posted on your YouTube channel in a month. So you and your cousin find this really creepy and you hang up the phone until you receive a text message from an unknown number sending you to a Twitter account like for part 3. So then you and your cousin click on this Twitter link and it takes you to a Twitter profile dedicated to you, a total fan page titled Mo for President with like 100 reasons why you would make a good president. And you see that some of these tweets are dated back to a year and you get totally freaked out and block this number. And then when you get back to school on Monday, you don't see her and you honestly don't see her for like months. So you end up almost forgetting about this entire incident and forgetting about her until one day she starts riding the school bus with you again. And every day she'll sit one seat closer to you until she's literally sitting right behind you to the point where she can like smell your hair and hear everything that you're saying. But you have no right telling her not to sit beside you on the school bus, so you don't know what to do. And then you start to realize that she actually is eavesdropping on everything that you're saying. So you get so fed up that one day you follow her home from school and you approach her and tell her that if she doesn't stop stalking you, you're going to ring on her doorbell and tell her parents what she's doing. And then she finally leaves you alone.
Storytime are the most dirtiest college rooming ever. By the way, we're calling her Jessie. So I moved in before Jessie and I get settled and decorate. The next day, she comes and throws her bag on the bed, then leaves. I thought it was weird because she didn't even say anything to me. Couple hours later, she comes back and I'm like, hello? And she's like, my bad, and comes gives me a hug. She smelled very bad. She starts unpacking all of her clothes and blankets, but they smelled like mildew. Anyways, a week later, there's this party going on for freshmen, and she goes, but I stay in because I had a migraine. I told her that when she comes back, can she keep the light off? Now it's 2 a.m., and she comes back in very loud, uses the bathroom, then goes to sleep. And now I'm up, so I got up to use the bathroom too. When I sit down on the toilet, I feel something very squishy. It was dark because, like I said, I had a migraine. I get up, turn the light on, and I was sitting in her shit.
Story time. My toxic best friend outed me to the entire school. So one day, one of my best friends from a neighboring school decided to move to my school, and she was extremely upset because her best friend over there came out as bi. So I ended up using this as an opportunity to come out bi as well. And she was like, well, it's okay for you. I just got really close to her. We'll call the girl Becky because no one likes a Becky. And we can call her friend Heather. So fast forward to after the situation had calmed down, we decided to all go prom dress shopping. So Heather and I were talking and we really hit it off. And I think Becky legitimately forgot about our sexuality because we were all talking about how much we have in common, and we brought that up as well. She just looked at us and was like, oh, I forgot about that. And she just shrugged it off. But we continued to hang out for a few weeks. One of these weekends, we all went to church together, and the sermon was about how God accepts you no matter what your sexuality is. But of course, Becky turns around to us and says that Heather and I could never date because it would F everything up. Later that day, Heather actually ended up admitting that she had feelings for me, and this is when Becky lost it. Stay tuned for part 2 and follow me on Instagram.
One day in elementary school, it was lunchtime. A bitch had to go potty. It was poo-poo time. So I remember I went to the restroom and I was exploding or whatever. And these girls walked in. We're gonna call them the Chipettes, okay? This is the best pop. So the Chipettes start yelling in the bathroom. Is someone here? Can someone hear me? Like, I didn't say anything. I was